guys, it's Looms here, and today I'll be showing you how to make the Skydive bracelet. This design was designed by me, and it is a variation of my Skywalker bracelet, which I also have a tutorial for on my channel. The only difference is the way it's stitched up in the center. So this is what it looks like. I'd also like to give credits to Loomania 0304 for the borders, because they're like the Cradled Gently borders, or the borders that are used in the Cradled Gently bracelet. I hope you'll enjoy the tutorial. Let's get started. To make this bracelet, you'll be needing some bands. Today I'll be using Fairy Pastel Pink, Glitter White and Tutti Frutti Green. You'll also be needing a hook and a C-clip. So let's get started. To start the bracelet, you'll need to make a 6-loop setup. So I'm going to take my border band, which is glitter white, and create a cap band. Then I'm going to take another one and pull it through and pick up the outside loop. I'm going to take another one and I'm going to pull it through the first 2 loops, and I'm going to pick up the outside loop. Make sure that your bands don't go out of order. Then you're going to flip it and change sides. You're going to take off the first band and pick up that other cap band loop. You'll take another band, pull it through the first 2 loops and lift the outside loop. So that's your starting, that's how it should look. Now to start the pattern, you're going to pretty much sort of visualize it by splitting it into 2, and we'll be working with the left side, which is closest to the hook for me. So you're going to take the 3rd band and loop it over the tip of the hook, just very gently like that. Make sure not to pull it down or anything. And now you're going to take your first color, which for me is the green. You're going to put it onto your hook. You're going to pull it through the first 2 loops and reclaim both of those 2 loops, and then you'll have to rearrange the first band back over. So I pull it through the first 2 loops and reclaim both of those loops again. Now you want to be careful because this green band is currently quite loose. Then you're going to rearrange this first glitter white band over the green one. So you want to be very careful with it and don't pull too hard on it either. So it should look like this once you've done that. Now you're going to take this border band that we looped over previously, and we're going to just hold our finger in place right here and just grab this band that's on the side and put it back onto the hook. Now you're going to take another border band and make sure that nothing goes out of order throughout all of this. So this band should stay as the first band. So you're going to take your border band and you're going to pull it through the first 4 loops and pick up the middle 2 loops. So I'm pulling it through the first 4, which should be the first 2 glitter white bands, that first green loop and then the other glitter white. And before anything goes out of order, I'm just going to go in and pick up the middle 2 loops, and then I'm going to close it off. So that's what it should look like. Once you've done that, you're going to change sides, just like this, and the order should be that there are 3 glitter white bands or 3 border bands first, a coloured band, another border band, a coloured band, and then 2 border bands on the other side. So it should look like this. So now what you're going to do is you're going to do the same step that we did before by taking the 3rd band and looping it over the hook, like that. And now what you're going to do is, instead of, before adding the next band, you're going to take this side of the coloured band you're going to take it and you're going to loop it over the two bands that are next to it towards the tip of the hook. So it should look like this. And now you're going to take your next band, which for me is the pink, and this time you're going to pull it through the first 3 and pick up the outside 2 loops. So I'm going to do that. So it's through the first 3 and I'm picking up the outside 2 border bands. Now I'm going to rearrange this first border band over to the outside of the pink. Next, you're going to see this glitter white band that's been looped off to the side. You're going to take it and put it back onto the hook. Now that band should be the first band on your hook. So you're going to take your border band and you're going to pull it through the first 4 loops and pick up the middle 2 loops. So through the first 4, and then you're picking up the center 2 loops. They should be poking out, so it's quite easy to grab them. So it's this pink one, and then this glitter white one. And then you can close it off. Once you've done that, you can change sides. Should look like this. And before proceeding to the next step, you're going to take the third band and loop it over the hook. You're going to take it and loop it over. Now what you're going to do is you're going to see this part of the pink that's closest to the back part, that's furthest away from the tip of the hook. You're going to take it and arrange it so that it's over the 2 bands that are next to it. It should lay right next to the green band from the previous row. Once you've done that, I'm going to take another green band, and this time we're going to pull it through the first 4 bands and then pick up the outside 2 bands. So you're going to take it, you're going to pull it through the first 4, so the first 2 glitter whites and then the green one and then the pink one, and then pick up the outside 2 glitter whites. Then you're going to rearrange the first glitter white over to the outside. Once you've done that, you're going to take this band that's been looped off to the side and you're going to put it back onto the hook, and now it should be the first band. You're going to take a border band, pull it through the first 4 loops and pick up the center 2 loops. So for me it's the green and that glitter white band, and make sure that your bands don't go out of order, that they stay in proper order, and then you can close that off. Now I'm going to change sides again. Before doing anything else, you have to take the third band and pull it over the hook. Just like that. And now my next colour is going to be pink, but before I pull it through I have to rearrange this green band over the 2 bands that are next to it, towards the tip of the hook. I'm going to take my pink and I'm going to pull it through the first 4 loops and pick up the outside 2 loops. So it's going through the first 4 and then picking up these outside 2, and then I have to rearrange the first one over. So it should look like this. Then you're going to take the band that's been looped off to the side and you're going to put it back onto the hook. Now it should be the first band. Then you're going to take another border band and you're going to pull it through the first 4 loops and pick up the middle 2 loops. So the process is repeating itself, as you can tell. So I'm pulling it through the first 4 and I'm picking up that pink one and the glitter white one that's next to it, and then put that back on. So now we can change sides. Going to loop off the third band and back to my green, but before I add it, I'm going to rearrange this pink band over the two bands that are next to it. So it should look like this. I'm taking my green band and I'm going to pull it through the first 4 loops and pick up the outside 2 loops, which for me are the glitter white. Then I'm going to rearrange the first band over, just like that. Now I'm going to grab this band that's been looped off to the side and I'm going to put it back onto the hook. I'm going to take a border band, I'm going to pull it through the first 4 loops and then pick up the middle 2 loops, this green one and this glitter white, and you can close it off. And as you can see, the pattern's forming. A good tip for this bracelet is to make the design look better or different. You'll have to just fiddle around with the borders, and I showed this with my Skywalker bracelet as well. You just grab the borders and just sort of pull them towards the outside. So you pick a side of the bracelet that you want to be for the front side and you do this all along on that side. And it should look like this. And I find that it makes the center bands pop out more and it just gives the borders a completely different look, and it's just really cool. And this is what the other side will look like when you do that. For closing up the bracelet, you're going to want to be on the side where you would be adding another coloured band. So like the step where you would rearrange that over and pull this third band over the tip of the hook and all that. But you're not going to pull that third band over the hook. Instead, you're just going to rearrange it so that it sits on the outside of all of the bands. And you're also going to once again rearrange this side of the pink over the 2 bands that are next to it so that it meets with the green. So the only different thing that we're doing this time is that we're not actually letting it go off the hook, that border band. So now you're going to take another border band and make sure that everything stays in order. So I've just pulled that one over first so that it stays in order, and you're going to pull it through that first band and then the next 4 bands, so all the bands up until this first pink band. So I'm pulling that through, and as you can see my bands have been out of order, but that's okay. So what you're going to do now is put your hook through these 2 border bands that are like lifting up, and then pull the first one through the second one, and then put the band back onto the hook. Now you're going to change sides and you're going to do a similar thing. Make sure your bands are in the correct order, and this time you're just going to take the third band, rearrange it to the front, take another border band, and you're just going to pull it through the first 4 loops and pick up the second loop. So I'm just pulling it through up until the pink, and I'm picking up that second loop. You should be left with 6 loops on your hook, and once you're at this point, you can do whatever closure you want, but the easiest thing to do is to simply just pull a band through everything, and then you can attach your C-clip. Just like that. And you're finished. And that is how you make the Skydive bracelet. If you decide to make this bracelet and post it on Instagram, please use the hashtags Skydive bracelet and Emerald Looms, and be sure to tag me in your photo so that I'll be able to see it. Thank you for watching, guys, and if you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and maybe subscribe. Also follow me on Instagram if you haven't done so already. And if you like this design, you'll probably like my other design, the Skywalker bracelet, the variation of this. So go ahead and watch that if you haven't done so already. Thank you for watching, guys, and I'll see you in my next tutorial. Bye!